You think it'd be easier getting on. Am I on or am I not on? Yes, I am. Now I think I am. Hey, Peter, Darla, Bobana. How's it going, you guys? Here's Bruce. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. Oh. I don't have any microphone, so you still can't hear me? No sound? So, I guess there's no volume. No volume? You don't hear me? Ah, okay, fine, perfect. I didn't do anything different. Thank you, guys. Isn't that odd? Darla, can you hear me now, though? Christopher Rollins, Nick, how's it going? Thanks for letting me know that, guys. Crosshatch, how's it going, my friend? I was checking out your videos the other day. Thank you so much for, at the same time, the amazing support here, Crosshatch, and like you all. Linda Double H can hear you. Thank you very much, you guys. Hey, Leah, how's it going? Nice to see you all here in the on the live streams. Can't thank you all enough. Bruce, Nick enough, just dropped a new vid. We can hear you. MJA, thank you very much. New Snegadas, my friend Frank over at New Snegadas. I hope you guys, some of you watch it. Spanish speaking channel. An amazing friend at the same time, as someone who spoke very highly about my channel. Greatly appreciated. He shared some of my work. Always one of my favorites. It's also a channel that I feature. There's Snegadas, New Snegadas, and there's also Planeta Snegadas. And it's a channel I love watching. You don't have to speak English to watch his channel at all. Just the visuals are incredible. It obviously puts a lot of money into some of the clips that he's buying. The screen's wider today. I do not know why. Maybe it's me that's thinner. No, maybe the screen's wider. Thank you very much, Leia. Craig 971's in the house. Nice to see you, man. Thank you. Thanks, Darla. Good. So we got that settled. Thanks a lot, you guys. And thanks for coming in at the same time. If you're new to the channel, don't be shy to say new, even though you don't want, unless you don't want any attention to pointing towards you. But we always welcome the new people here. We're an amazing family online. The same incredible, amazing people that I love very much come back here, guys and gals, and I really appreciate it. More new people this week and last week. I'm very happy for the first time that it budged a little, the channel. But again, I'm not getting my high hopes up, not remaining negative either. It's just that I just saw something fly by. You know, it's a channel that's hidden, that's for sure. So the more new people that come here, the better. I know a lot of you are sharing the work and sharing it on your social media platforms. It's absolutely amazing. Couldn't believe how fast the moon was going 2 nights ago. Couldn't believe how fast it was going. I'm talking 2 times at least faster than what I usually see. The bigger the telescope, the more you zoomed in, the faster the moon is going to look like it's moving. When I'm over top of a crater, well, then it's just going by like that. But now it was ridiculous. And if along the lines of Earth speeding up, so Earth, when I say Earth speeding up, it's not speeding up at even 5 miles an hour more there. It's a little bit of a change. Like recently, just last month, it's 1.2 miles faster per hour. So what the hell? How come that's happening? Sure, if you look at over thousands of years into the future, progressively, Earth would, in theory, well, this is what science tells us, science facts, right? Even though science is always evolving. Norma C, thanks, Norma, for being here at the same time, said just in a comment moments before I started the stream, we were talking about that, about how the moon has always followed the elliptical line, and then it's out of that line. It's literally out of that line. And she says everything we learned when she was younger in science, She has to unlearn it, and it makes total sense. Everything, but if you grab a history book that you have, like a Great Britannica or whatever books that are related to science, and you sat down and memorized that book from A to Z, that would be a big feat, right? Something incredible thing to do, but you're still not going to be even close to being on the same wavelength with the new science stats that are coming out right now. It's incredible. Everything's changing. The gravity, they're changing the gravity. They're changing what they talk about dark matter. They're changing the atmosphere of Earth and the chemistry of Earth. They're changing talk about the thermosphere, the ionosphere, and all these layers around Earth. They pretty much shot that out there many years ago with a lot of theories, and now it's a lot of it's wrong, right? The science is wrong. That's how it is. I'm not saying science is always wrong. We learn by that science, but still, like Einstein's relativity theory and mathematical equations, what is energy equal to mc squared? Not exactly, but he was close. But we didn't round it down to the source fine point. So the calculations for space are always off and iffy and sort of close. And all the laws of physics that are here on Earth are not the same, probably even just on the moon. All the other planets, everything's different. The light speed is different. Everything changes when you're in another environment. So if two neutron stars are colliding together, that could be changing the entire, like a domino effect, the entire solar system. It doesn't mean that it's going faster because of the sun, but it could be HARP, add all the manipulation on top of that, what they're doing, CERN, HARP, whatever, good or not, it's a lot of unknown things that we're not sure of. Like the testing during the pandemic. There was no testing done on humans in the States, by the way. I'm seeing things on my screen, guys. That was it's a little weird. Thank you very much, Leia. Mix ma'am in the house. How's it going to you, man? Thanks for letting me know you hear me. The eye is doing better, a lot better. Had to fix it before coming on, but it was really bad this year. This year's been the worst my eye has ever been. I don't have any vision problems. I don't have any problems like that. I don't even need glasses, actually. It's for my astigmatism. Not very thick glasses. You can tell by, if you look, you can't even see a difference looking through it, really. Not much of a difference. My dirty glasses. But the eye is reacting differently, whether it be allergies or not. Had hives this year. For the first time, all my cheek, coming down on my cheek, have a swollen and numbness in the side of my neck. The usual. The guy's like, holy shit, he's dying. Side effects, whatever it may be. I'm feeling, lightheadedness, nausea, cramps, sore stomachs, congestion all the time, problems breathing, especially this year. It's something crazy. They do say the sun apparently does affect a lot of things. Like, I like using apparently because that's that's all we have as information. So we talked about the eye, and now it's going to get going. Probably. It's a very dry eye. That's what happens. Always very dry. We have out of lunch. Thank you very much. I don't know if I am Kai is here yet. You can be sure he's going to stop by. My buddy Kai. Hope so. Good day to you too, Crosshatch. Yeah, that's what they say. Wash your hands. I wonder how many people notice how many people are not washing their hands leaving the bathroom now. I used to work with a whole bunch of them. Used to bug my ass. I can leave a dusty shelf in my house, but I wash my hands after I go for a crap. Not very good conversation if anyone's eating, but that's how it is. Start looking at people. Wash your bloody hands, especially if you're making food for your family. Won't get into that. Elias, thanks, man. Right on. Bobana in the house. Thanks so much, you guys, for coming by. First time I caught you live. News Now, Tommy Lin. Thank you very much. Love you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And thanks for taking the time to listen to the stream for the first time. Really appreciate that. There's no one theme that we stick on. We can talk about absolutely anything. My research, obviously, and space and what's going on. Always taking notes. Tonight, I'll be looking at the space news to get some more information on to see what the hell's going on. Are you guys anxious for the next UFO report? We're going to see a whole bunch of them this year. I hope a whole bunch more. So, yeah, making walking robots on the planets. They're starting to talk a lot about it. I've seen NASA talk a lot about it. To go land on the planets, to have droids or whatever, robot people walking to go around the planet. Wouldn't that look like an invasion? Just see if it's a primitive people living on the moon. Somebody commented in the comment section under my last video that was saying that the moon wasn't in the habitable zone, and it is. Be careful. The moon is in the habitable zone. As a matter of fact, there's only 3 objects in the habitable zone in the solar system. Mars, a little bit on the outskirts, supposedly not in the habitable zone, but some of its moons are. There's 2 or 3 moons, including our moon, that is in the habitable zone. So, I mean, we're all set to divulge, to leak, or to expose what's going on. I hope it's going to come from the inside. That's what happens. We get leaks from the inside, where the CIA, the FBI, MK Ultra was leaked out by CIA agents because the mind controlling, some of them were worried about it and what was going on, right? You become a CIA agent, you're all happy to be a CIA agent, but then some things happen at that agency where not everyone is in accordance to some of the things that are being done. Not everybody knows about what's going on inside of the central intelligence, whatever. But it's a good thing because there's some good and bad people in everything. Probably even some good and bad in the aliens. Maybe not as bad as us. I think we're pretty much probably one of the worst races, the meanest, most likely, the most dangerous, maybe, unpredictable. We know it. We're all humans here. And if there's someone that's unpredictable, it sure is a human. That's for sure. We can be conniving. We can pretend we're caring for someone when we're not, but make it look like it is. We can pretend that we hate somebody with a passion when we really love them. We work in weird ways. Somebody that can read through somebody, nothing they can do. Some people, right off the bat, have a very good intuition on what other people are pushing out as an energy. Sometimes that energy is very, very bad. Sometimes it's an energy that's hard to understand. But again, energy, it's still not really, that's not really a subject. It's still a myth sort of thing. Like UFOs, even though they actually admitted that they exist, I mean, people still think that it's a myth sometimes. Freedom of speech, you got to appreciate it. Freedom of speech means we can all debate about everything and anything. Bullets for teeth. I love that. Planetas Nicodos is a channel. Planetas. Yeah, sure. Bullets for teeth. Which link would you like us to drop? What is the link? I want us to focus on this channel, but if there's a link you want to share, I don't mind. The bullets for teeth. Ask them on. Maybe they'll want to. Star Hunter. I prefer long-time subscriber, Bullets for Teeth. Thank you so much. As long as you're not dropping a Walson comment or a Walson channel. Biggest thug on YouTube. So the moon is in the south again. Absolutely. And now Chris Ferrons, we've been talking about it for quite a while now, where it's doing this. So some of you have had to have seen this 2 days in a row. Worst 2 days ago, when I filmed the footage of the moon on the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. It was in the middle of the night. So what really on the 7th, midnight came along. We were the 8th. I started filming the moon early on the 8th. And it rose in front of my door as compared to on the corner of the house where I do not see it, that's not the big thing. But when it rose just a little bit over the trees, took a long time. And once it went over the trees, it stayed there, not shifting over, and then went down. Unless you have a telescope like Christopher Rollins and I, you're not going to notice that those certain changes as much. I also noticed filming my son. I always do the same thing. Those of you who film the celestial objects, you know it. It's annoying. You have to go up with the camera, over to the right. Then you go back inside, come back out, up with the camera, over to the right, because as it's going up and moving over right. Sometimes there's certain periods where you're filming the sun, which I like filming it at that point. I think it's when it's at the highest in the sky. It's not moving so much, so it moves sideways as compared to the rising up and stuff. But these days, having a hard time coinciding with all these changes of up and down. It's absolutely crazy what the moon's doing. It stayed in the south. It stayed low. It's not on the ecliptic like Norma C was talking about, and it went up, not very high. It was over the highest tree here, just to say that I was able to get it. My telescope was not in the balcony. I've never done that in my life, so I can confirm. First time. This is my 7th year of research, 6 completed. Never did I ever have to change that telescope from the deck. And I couldn't see this the moon at all because it was on the side of the house in front and low. So now I'm having to continually take out the telescope in different regions around the house, putting cement plates there and stuff. Because by the way, I don't have an observatory. So every time you see me film the moon, it's because I bring all those pieces out. It's over 250 pounds, the base, and about 50 pounds, 40 pounds, the head, and now 55, 60, because I put all the other pieces on top of it now for the next big secret project. I ain't new, just first time seeing you live. Thanks for letting me know, though. I appreciate that. You can, the best thing, my friend, would be to go to see the last video that I post. Not the last video. You can grab the URL of the channel right over top here, and you can post it. But I'm going to give you a little suggestion. You've been here for a while, man. Thanks a lot. Hang tight. I'm going to take 2 seconds. We've got to wait till YouTube opens because, it takes so long. There we go. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Appreciate it. So if I go over to my channel and you go into videos, so like I said, you can share by the URL, which you obviously know that. But everybody here, listen up. If you haven't seen this video yet, it's a video. You go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. The 8th video is called "This is Public UFO Disclosure That Proves That Life Exists." That's the one you want to get. This is public disclosure. That's one you want to share from my channel. I also have a video not too long ago called Apollo 17 Landing Site. You wanted to see construction, and that's what it's called. People wanted to see construction and wanted to see the surface. And I'm not saying they went or did not go. I know whether they went or not. I'm just telling you that where they declared having gone, there is constructed objects there. I mean, even if I believe they didn't go, I'd be a hypocrite hiding the structures that I actually found where they declared having landed, like literally at the landing site. So you guys want to check out the one that I just mentioned. This is Public UFO Disclosure. One of the best videos. It's over 20,000K now. So hopefully there's also some NASA footage there comparing with mine. So hope that'll help. Whole bunch of good people in here. We have Static Bats in the house. Thanks a lot, you guys. Cereals, they'd see. Darla, thanks for the shares and welcoming the people. Beth Noyes in the house. Noise. I said it right this time. Thanks for being here, Beth. Yeah, that's what listen. How come I can't click? What the hell is going on? I'm gonna get mad here. Svetlana, that's a beautiful name, by the way. Svetlana Maximova. Thank you very much. The universe is collapsing. That's well said, because, and again, here's the thing. It's not collapsing because it's being destroyed. It's alive. That's how I see it. The universe is alive. The planets are alive. Telling you. And everything has a movement. Wouldn't be surprised if Earth is alive, right? Get rid of its sores. We got sores. Earth has sores right now. That's how I look at it. The whole universe is bloody alive, is living. And the effect of a coin, when you flip a coin on the table, it turns, it stays straight, and it's actually a good example of showing how to create gravity, I find. But what happens to that coin when it starts slowing down? It doesn't slow down it doesn't shift at all. It gets to a point where right before it falls, it starts a little wobble. We could be at that point with our planet here with the wobble. We're seeing a moon shifting like that. It's Earth or the moon that is definitely shifting. Earth could be going faster. They mentioned it a couple of times. For them to have mentioned it, it went like in a flash. Like the next day, it started going 1.2 miles faster for some reason. So neutrons, stars colliding in the universe, all these events cause major domino effects. And we still don't know that. They're just studying that now. Imagine just studying that now. Gate Smasher, thanks a lot, man. Explosion on the backside. That's a couple of people that mentioned that to me. I didn't see it where I was looking, which is totally baffling me. William Shuttles also mentioned that. Explosion on the backside of the sun on the spots you showed. Okay, sorry, you showed. Sure hope it doesn't burst on Earth facing as it comes around again. Exactly. So apparently, so that's what happened, man. William Shuttles mentioned that there was a big coronal mass ejection on the back side of the sun, and if it would have been facing Earth, I mean, we'd be goners for sure. To be a lot of problems. So yes, hoping when it faces Earth, it won't be too bad. And I'm going to check right now really quickly to see if the sunspots are bad or active. When they are, I film them, and I like sharing and showing them. Let's see right now, real quickly. I'm there. Okay, so it's still Friday. Oops. Yeah, so we're all the way up to 3096 to 3092, 96, 3098 with the sunspots. I started filming the sunspots for the first time at the end of 2021. We were at 2160, if I'm not mistaken. So there's been hundreds of sunspots since then. But here's some news, latest news, Friday, September 2nd. Yes, the coronal hole was facing Earth. Monday, the 29th of August, the sunspot region 3088 that I showed transforms itself into the 3089. So that's about it. That's all they're talking about. They're not talking much about the big event that happened at the back. Elias, thanks for the amazing comments, my friends. Thanks for connecting and for the ideals, for sharing the ideals at the same time, y'all. Yeah, that's, Earth moving faster, Earth moving slower will be either heavier or less heavy. But in reality, it's the same thing as when you're on a ride, the gravity ride, I call, where you stick to the wall. Well, is what would happen to Earth. Everything would be pulled outwards to the poles. So it's incredible when you start thinking of what could really happen. And of course, no, it's not something that's going to happen instantaneously. It's something that over a period of many, many years is going to progress. We're going to see tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes. We're going to see a lot of things. Of course, the sun affects the volcanoes. It's in charge of the volcanic activity. The sun absolutely regulates all of that. Right now, those sunspots are causing halos around them, and there's talk about it disturbing in a very big way the chemistry of Earth's atmosphere. So have you noticed that they're saying it's going to be wild? There's 3 days of intense heat, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, and then it's going to plunge down to maybe 10 degrees, and it's going to snow. So we're going to see a lot of gaps and holes from here to my own mother. Okay, 20 minutes away. Okay, depending on how fast I drive, I can get there in 5. There's a drastic change of weather. The weather is incredibly different between me and my mom. It's incredible. 2-3 degrees difference yesterday with her, and pouring rain and storming in Valleyfield, and me, nope. It's the opposite all the time. So that's really weird there. Hey man, Gate Smasher, thanks a lot. Peter Benton, thanks, man. No storms all year up to now, and then daily thunderstorms. Yes, it's true. There wasn't any storms during the year here. Year two, it was really weird. Daily thunderstorms all this week here. What the hell? Strange skies and the moon low in the south. I really don't understand it. And for the moon to stay low in the south and not rise, but then go back down. So all it did was rise a little bit and then go back down. So that means almost I didn't see the moon rising. How the hell can that be? And have you noticed that instead of seeing the moon peeking out when it's really, really hairline moon, I'm not seeing it ever again? The last time I saw the moon before I filmed the full moon, or not the full moon, almost full moon, was the full moon from before. Didn't see it grow, didn't see the hairline, the crescent moon, and then half moon. No, it went full moon, disappeared last moon phase, came back almost full. Didn't see any progressive phase during the phase, any progression through the phase, which is blowing my mind. There's lots of things that occur that are normal that people don't realize a lot. Like, I got a really good question. Somebody says, Bruce, I see the sun and the moon in the sky and they look like they're side by side together. Yes. Do you know what that term is called? Selenelian. Selenelian is the scientific term used for when the sun and the moon are in a 180-degree angle from Earth, and they can both be seen. So I try to research everything that I'm seeing, and I'm learning so much. Selenelian. Never heard of that in my life. Never heard anyone in science talk about it. And it's all these terms. We can make channels and say, oh, it's weird that the moon's low, and it's weird that it's over there. Somebody told me it was normal, Bruce, for the moon to be off its course. It happens every year. Well, it happens during the equinox. Solstice. That's it. It shouldn't happen any other time. And like Christopher Rollins said, and everyone else, it's still low in the south. So this is year number 3. It's been doing this a lot. Started doing it a lot last year, and this year it's 90% of the moon phases. The moon's stuck right there. It's literally in the front of my house, right in the south. South is over there, and it's right in the front of my house, south, southeast, and it stays there and it rises there. At one point, it rose. I'm not lying to you. There's the right corner of my house, and it rose to almost the back corner of my house. That's rising in the north, guys. I saw the moon in the northeast, almost completely north, rising. And right after that happened, there was the Tonga eruption. We had La Palma in Spain, the Canary Islands. We have the incredible large earthquakes in Japan, China, the tsunamis. They're not talking about much, are they, in China? China's being destroyed in many regions right now, and they're not talking about it on the news. Incredible storms, incredible earthquakes, sinkholes opening up around the earth is something absolutely incredible too, which a lot of people tell me, Bruce, those sinkholes could have to do with the aliens opening up the holes once again to come out. I love it. Like, absolutely be possible. They're polluting space. They did on Earth. That's absolutely right. That's like the CO2. CO2 is not bad. CO2 is must. It's what causes us to be alive. We need that pollutant CO2 that they're talking about. The trees consume it. They breathe it in. And then they recycle that through their bark. It's in the stumps of the trees. All recycled naturally. If it wouldn't be for CO2, we wouldn't be here. The lies that they're trying to push now and get ready, the next big thing is going to be climate change. So now every time I'm going to be mentioning something about the changing of weather, they're going to be saying, Bruce, it's all a hoax. But we have to understand that there is weather changes and there is a drastic change in the temperature, but we just have to find the balance and difference between the climate change, what is climate change, and what is not climate change. If the climate is changing, there's climate change, right? But it doesn't mean that the climate change is going to destroy and kill us. And the CO2 that they say that we're making is bullshit. I'm sorry, it's not true. I don't believe it. Science is telling us it's not true. We need that CO2. What are they talking about? Farts and methane and cows? Are they're totally nuts, wackos. That's how I look at it. It's totally crazy. William Shuttles, thanks so much, you guys. Amazing support, man. Thank you very, very much, bro. Thanks for appreciating the research, man. Was just talking about you, bud, about some of the things on the sun that you were mentioning. I had a hard time finding that information about that, about what's going on, because I don't want people to know about what's going on. But that, like said, like Gate Smasher also said, if that was facing Earth, we're goners. Probably, I mean, get ready. The grid can go down. That's the big thing. When things happen, I am worried a bit about the fires. They say the devices, you have to look up the Carrington event that happened in the 1800s, all the telegraph lines that burnt and killed people. We have a lot more devices now in our houses, and every single satellite's being operated by those programs and devices, which the Space Force and the US government is screaming it out there that they're all hackable. Those programs are absolutely hackable. People can hack into the satellites through the programs. So if some of those satellites are direct energy weapons, we have a serious problem. What would happen if China was to hack into one of those energy weapons owned by the US, in theory, that could be in space, probably lots of them? What would happen? It would be it would be horrible. William, Gate Smasher, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. Professor Polak, how's it going? Yes, love from Poland. Thank you very much. My friends from Poland. I get some people from Poland to come here. You guys are really nice down there. Really appreciate the support and sending out love to Poland. Thanks a lot, you guys. Theory, maybe the moon is running, says Christopher Rollins, on solar power and all the extra radiation the sun is spewing. Maybe it sped up the moon. I like those theories, man. Thanks for sharing that. Absolutely. When the moon becomes half, who says the moon isn't like just a Dyson sphere where there's wheels? I mean, hear me out. It's nuts. I love it. Wheels where the one half of the moon goes in to the other half of the moon and hides inside. And then you got a half a moon, because see, when people land on the moon, they drop off on one side of the moon everything that's been shipped to the moon, and then the moon closes up so they can start going to get all the shipments and spread them around. You want theories? Anyway, come sit and have a drink with me one night, and it'd probably be a lot worse drinking the theories that come out, because sometimes there's so many things that I think of that is absolutely whacked when you think of it. Everyone talking about the sun and the moon being bright and the reflection from the sun on the surface and the way light diffuses on the surface and microgravity, both on Earth. Light does not act the same way on the moon as it acts in gravity environment. A microgravity environment doesn't act the same. But looking at the moon, we're seeing light scattering, which only can happen on Earth, supposedly. And don't forget, there's no process, photosynthesis and all that. This is how these things occur, and they send the moon that you don't have that. The water, they say, that's on the moon remains on, doesn't remain on the moon because it goes up. It's evaporated immediately because there's not enough methane in the atmosphere to hold down the, to have that type of gravity. So terraforming is something very possible that they can do. They're doing it on Mars. I don't care what anybody says. Years ago, I heard NASA themselves say that they're applying oxygen with those helicopters inside of the atmosphere of Mars. For what? It's not because just for their pretty eyes, not just a stupid test that they're doing. They're not doing that for nothing. They're doing that to maybe get the oxygen higher. Don't forget, Mars is supposedly outside of the habitable zone, but the moon is not. The moon is also inside the geocorona, which Earth's furthest extension of oxygen is in the geocorona. So how far does it extend that oxygen in a bubble around Earth? Hundreds of thousands of miles past the moon. That's right. So the moon is definitely inside of Earth's atmosphere, and yes, it's in the habitable zone. So it's that simple for me. There would be vegetation. You would have winds, rains, depending on the level of atmosphere. I don't know about that. Well, obviously, depending on the level of atmosphere, things would be different, but nobody knows what the quantity of atmosphere is, even though they say it's 60 some percent less than Earth. I got a lot of one man theories. Yes. Hey, Richard Crooks, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that, Darla. As little as a poster, the sinus iridum base that I showed, I got an ideal. I threw a quick couple of images on pictorem.com. That's a channel where YouTubers that are photographers can share their work. It's one of the least expensive sites I've seen. Warning you now, photography is very expensive. I've had this site for 2 or 3 years, never shared it until this year. But if you're curious, you don't have to buy anything. Go check out the image of the moon, the base in sinus iridum. I did not say it was a base. I said it was a converted image, a negative image, a special rare image of the surface. But that's where you can get it. And you can get as little as a poster if you want to have quite simply a poster on your wall. And you can dress it up there. It can cost you $10,000 if you want. You can dress it up with frames, crystal, anything you want. But I think I have 3 sales on that Pictorem, and the 3 sales were 1 last year and 2 this year. So that's really cool. I had a merch store here before, but they didn't pay me. I was able over many years to be able to build up $500, and the $500 I can't see it because it got hacked, and YouTube says I need my password to get into it. So, excuse me, there, YouTube, for $400, I wash my hands of it. And I hit it. Actually, if you look for Bruce Swartz merch, for Bruce Sees All merch, you'll probably find it. Cups, shirts, hats. It's just that they're not paying me. So you can go buy something from the store, but you will have the money. So, but at least people will still get my merch. But that's why I stopped selling it. I took the merch link completely off. The theory is just a thought. It might be right. It might be wrong. Absolutely. Science is theoretical. And that's the way I look at it. Everything they say is theoretical. The Bible was translated, right? So there is no facts out there on the internet at all. There's just assumptions, smart thinking, logical thinking, intuition thinking, deeply researched facts thinking. But again, the facts that we're getting online, are they really facts if they're always changing? Norma C said it. Everything we learned about science when we were young is now wrong. Like literally wrong. So if you grab a science book that you have at home that's about 20, 50, 30, 40, 50 years old, you read the whole bloody book. And if you go to sit down and talk with people in science, you're still going to be behind because now the science is absolutely changing. David, thanks so much for being here. Dirt Riders, love it. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right about that. We are the test. It's 100%. I agree with that. We literally are the test. Yes. Marceliaus. Trying to scroll down here to see everyone, which I never can. Mixed Man Venus got whacked twice within a couple of days from one huge Halo CME and an earlier M plus CME. You're absolutely right about that. There were 2 of them. And not good. I'm telling you, it's not good. We have no idea what the hell's going on there. Imagine the impact and the drastic impact that could have done. Expat Canuck. Hello, salut. Hey, merci. Merci beaucoup. Bienvenue. J'espère que vous connaissez aussi ma chaîne française, OVNI Québec Astronomie. Vous êtes la bienvenue là. Et j'ai ma gang française qui vient toujours ici aussi. Puis je te remercie beaucoup. Thanks a lot, Mix Ma'am. Yeah, it's right. It's all a theory, but I don't linger on that. Oh yeah, that's just a theory. Everything's a theory. I call it common sense. That's what I call it. I'm always saying that. In theory, apparently, supposedly, but that's how it is. I do share my own beliefs, and I can add them in to my research as I always do, but I love letting people know that it's only me thinking this. People still ask me, Bruce, is Earth flat? Is it not flat? I've seen some incredible evidence of curvature, and I've also seen some incredible flat Earth theories. So I remain neutral. I've never thought the Earth was round, and I never thought it was flat either. It's shaped like a potato, as all celestial objects are shaped, I believe. Jupiter has a ring around it nobody talks about, just like Saturn, just a little closer to the surface, apparently. That's how it is. Lisa, BH, how's it going? The moon was behind my house last night, and a couple of hours later, it was on the side. Yes. So you see, thanks for letting me know that, because in a way, not in a way, literally visual proof that you yourself are noticing that, holy crap, the moon is running too fast across the sky. And that's what I noticed. I noticed it yesterday, something incredible. It was so bloody fast. I had to slow down the moon video. Yes, I do slow down moon videos. That'd be a liar saying I don't slow it down, but I always show it naturally first, going by real speed. Now it's just too bloody fast. It was going like that there, I've seen the moon rock before a little bit. That extremely scary with the telescope, literally looking at the moon and with the stars all remaining the same and the telescope not jumping, seeing the moon just go. It's less than that just to see a little jump like that. I've seen it. I've seen that happen. You're like, whoa. It looks like the moon is being held up by its center, centrifugal force, by its center. And that on that string, that ball has more weight on one side and sort of, pulling more on one side. Really, when you look at the moon, you can come to these conclusions. Why did Confucius walk through the desert? Because you see everything. There's no one around you, no one to, being alone, guys. I'm telling you, I love people. Okay. I'm not going to hide it. But since I've been alone and doing this research intensely, I have so much time with my own thoughts to think and just incredibly evolving through the thoughts, just continually thinking of envisioning so many things. And you have to learn as much as you can in science about one thing. I'm no genius. So of course I don't know everything about particle physics and physics itself and quantum string theories. And I mean, I'm learning all about it now, though. It is very interesting. But here's the thing that I don't like. You study that. Ever notice how when you hear something new in science, your whole belief system changes? You start realigning yourself a completely different way. So I'm always very careful with the information I gather in science, because I thought the moon was inhabited, and it is. But the reason why I thought that was through common sense. Before I started doing really thorough research on the surface of the moon. And it's maddening, because what they're saying about the moon, you see in science itself, science people are fighting. One says the atmosphere is higher. One says, no, it's impossible. One says, of course it's possible. No, it's not possible. And they bring up both incredible theories, and you're sitting there saying, damn it. We know nothing about what's outside of our Earth. Absolutely nothing. You can only imagine what some of those astronauts have seen floating around in space. Thanks again, Darla, for that. Go get a base on your wall if you want to. Hit the Picture M. Take a little look at that. There's the super chat up now. People I've noticed, and thank you so much, William, everyone, Darla, for the incredible Bobana. A whole bunch of support that I'm getting that way, and it's greatly appreciated. A little bit here and there, and a lot, actually, and I'm very lucky. Little Minx is in the house. Hi to you. The Minx, speaking of generous contributions, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel in many ways, my friends. I really appreciate that. Peter Benton's channel is there. Listen, he got something the other day. I saw a UFO on the top of his video. You guys have to let me know what you think of that. I don't get notifications, so unfortunately, I probably didn't even see what he replied. But he's another one pushing out some cool videos. Appreciate that. Elias started his live stream. So on Sundays, my English friends, at least once a month, head over to that channel and bombard his live stream with English comments. Get him to learn English. He loves it. Did I hear you? Did I hear you right? Are you feeling all those things? Yes, you heard me right. I'm definitely feeling them, like some of you are too, right? That you've mentioned feeling a drastic change. Honestly, I can't help but mention it. The drastic shift in my weight. I'm telling you, planets are growing. I think I am too, because a real unbalanced health, like, with everything that was going on with the lungs coughing my ass off for the past 2 or 3 years, and now it's stopped. That really bugs me. Well, it sounds stupid, but it bugs me because we don't know all the crap that they're putting on us. It could be spraying us on us. Lots that they're doing. England, Starman7, thank you so much. Telesac 80, damn, we're already into 2022. Isn't it crazy? It really is going by fast. I definitely agree with that. Scrolling way down now to keep up with everyone. Jesus Taurus in the house. I'm on the Northwest. We have Keith is in the house. Thanks a lot. I know for a while about the moon. They are also deep in the Pacific. Thank you for your info. Thank you very much. Pacific. In the Pacific, it's where we're seeing the most activity, earthquakes, volcanic activity, all in the Pacific. And of course, along the equator, right? That's where everything is more intense. And inside of the Pacific and a lot of other places, guys, we have bases. And the bases are aliens, I believe. Obviously. When they're showing some of those friggin' guppies or jellyfish, octopus, giant octopus. Why am I mixing up jellyfish with octopus? Big difference. Octopus, well, DNA wise, maybe not. Octopus. They show that in the bottom of the ocean. Do you see the one with the tentacles of 30, 40 miles long? I don't know how friggin' long or how many hundreds of thousands of feet it was. Some of those creatures can be alien beings that are living underwater, that don't have a human form, legs, or anything. Everyone says it. The first thing you hear people say when they look at the underworld in the ocean, we go, damn, there's a bunch of aliens down there. Everything's alien to us down there. Absolutely. Thanks for letting me know that, Keith, about noticing the changes in the moon and everything. Northwest of Iceland having a cluster of earthquakes a lot. I cannot pronounce the name. Yes. Yeah, no, I get it. I can't pronounce it either. I know exactly what you're talking about. And bro, that Icelandic volcano, what the hell's wrong with me? Must be the ascension, the 5D. That volcano that's there is erupting. It's also destroying a lot of land. It's producing more kilometers of land now. The wall broke off of the volcano at one point, but they're not talking about it. You don't hear them talking about it. And the most replies I get about that when I mention it in the comment section are people telling me, yeah, Iceland is a volcanic area, many active volcanoes. It's normal. It's not normal. People in Iceland are flipping out because that's happening. And there's another one in Indonesia that's going to be talked about real soon. Again, I don't know the name because these names are so crazy hard to pronounce. It split Earth. It cracked Earth. And it erupted a long time ago, that exact volcano in Indonesia. The deaths recorded, over 37,000 people that were instantaneously killed. Maybe not all instantaneously, depending on how far you are from ground zero, right? But I'm telling you, it's happening all over the world where the weather is unpredictable. The states, have you been seeing people tell me, oh yeah, states always has hurricanes? Yeah, but has it been like the past few years? I have friends in Florida. It's crazy. Sure, they get hurricanes and tornadoes, but now it's just devastating. I'd say all the way back to New Orleans, right? When it started, New Orleans is sinking, man, and I don't want to swim. It was sinking. It sank. Everything was destroyed. New Orleans happened again afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. Katrina, eh? Devastating. Definitely pretty devastating. They're going to become out of control storms. And I'm not here trying to misinform or trying to with scare tactics. Like I said, everything and anything that's going to happen to the earth, a lot of people are going to live through it. Most of us will. But there are little incidences where coincidences, let's say somebody's out camping and out by a volcano. Well, it's going to happen sometimes that they will erupt and some people may die. We're going to see any volcanoes come up through California or the States, dormant volcanoes here in Canada, Hudson Bay, biggest. Do you know that? They say the Hudson Bay is the biggest impact crater. That's what it is. Not a lot of people know that. So it's not a matter of if we have another impact or a volcano, it's a matter of when. So there are many years and gaps between these bad times, right? But Earth is always changing. It's always evolving. There's always something. Oh, yeah, always evolving and maybe not necessarily revolving. Because when you look up in the sky, it doesn't look like Earth is moving at all. Julius Caesar believed that he was the center of the universe. He was probably right. When you look up, you don't see it. North Star is stuck and not moving. And, hang on, guys. Jeez, I'm getting old, guys. Jeez. Sore bones and joints this year, guys, to the point where my thumbs, I have, see it jumps. I have a hard time bending it now. Both thumbs, like a pain, goes all the way down here to the center of the hand on each side. Of incredible pain. I can't bend my thumbs. So what the hell is he talking about? His thumbs? I don't know. I don't know why that's happening. The joints, swollen legs. I mean, whole bunch of stuff going on. I laugh. I don't really care. I don't go to the hospital. When I go to the hospital, it'll be go to the morgue. I'll go in by the basement, just knock and sign in. Sign your name here. Thank you very much. And wait on a gurney. In the gurney. In the hallway. Barb Weist. Is Barb Weist here? Hello, Barb Weist. I'm going to listen to you while I cook up some morel mushrooms. Oh, mushrooms are my favorite. Talking about meals and mushrooms. The other one, well, I had the experience of trying them. It's not something I did very often. Didn't have to. That's what opened up the portal. That's what opens up the portal. That's what opens up the portal. I feel stupid today. Thomas is in the house. Valiant Thor is in Trinidad. Thank you very much for sharing that. Actually, it's interesting. Listen, I believe, and for those who don't know, Valiant Thor is a man from Venus, apparently. He came here with some other people here to try to get us to join a federation with him, a sort of, I guess, sort of contract with him. And they're not too happy about the nuclear and the bombs here. They came here at the first during the war, World War, and were a witness to the massive atomic bomb, most likely Hiroshima and all that. They were there watching. It's a big event. Think of it. Very scary, the fact that they didn't try and stop it. But I heard that through the grapevine that that person can be back here. A lot of controversy about the person. Some people believe the story, some people don't. I can't have an opinion on that because I don't know enough about him. What's interesting me is that Laura Eisenhower is involved in talking about him. So why would she risk looking like a nut and talking about the different gates and portals that are being opened up? 13 of them apparently, or something like that. I think there's some truth to what she's saying. For me, the story of Valiant Thor remains one that's very interesting for sure. 100%. Beth Noyce, thank you so much. I got my butt handed. I hope you feel better. Thanks a lot. Got my butt handed to me. A bit feeling well in August too. In the mend, but holy smokes, we're going through massive changes, aren't we? I think we are. I love you, brother. Love you more, sister. Thanks so much, Beth. Absolutely, we're going through changes. And for the first time, of course, I'm getting older and I'm saying, well, 47, I'm going to start feeling things. No, it was a drastic change. My own mother said that she felt great all of her life, and she's not old, but she's we're getting older. She's getting older, feels great. But then all of a sudden, there was drastic changes that all of a sudden everything's feeling off. Everything's really feeling off. A lot of us are feeling it. For some that don't realize it, hats off. Amazing. I don't think it's that you're not noticing it. Maybe you've overcome it or don't have problems with that effect. But if I was to tell you, it's sort of like, and no, not just because of the ascension to the 5D, whether it's true or not. I'm just literally saying that it feels like we are floating. So me, in theory, I do believe that the planets are changing places. And oh my gosh, it's got a thought. Guys, astrology. Do you know how important the planets are to our lives? The reason why we're here because of those planets, partly including the CO2 also a supposed pollutant or gas that causes us to live and not die. It's not the other way around. We don't know enough about all those truths, and science is definitely not helping. So the next big thing, get ready, CNN and the liars and everything. Thanks again, Beth. They're going to be pushing the climate change, and they're going to be pushing talking about the water and stuff. I can confirm something to you all. There is so much ice on this planet that it could melt a quarter of it and it would flood the planet. There is so much glaciers and ice in Antarctica and around the world. The parts that they're showing that were melting was really scary. And I think that, you know how it is. You know how it is, the media. Here, there was a flood in my own town. The Weather Channel, anyone in Canada knows about that. The Météo Média, the Weather Channel, came down, went to the only house at the bottom of the road that was completely flooded, stood in the middle of the water with her boots and lifted up her skirt to go and broadcast from the middle of that with the water coming out of this woman's window. But if she turned around, there's no water anywhere else in town, anywhere. So their goal is to present something in a drastic way. So that's what they're going to be doing with the climate change. When they show us the calving, I don't know if you know what calving is, when the glaciers calve and they turn and they break apart. The calving is incredible. But there's lots of them. And they're showing them falling and breaking apart, saying, my gosh, look, the ice is melting. There's not going to be any more ice. It's never going to disappear. All that ice, no way in hell is it ever going to disappear. There's too much water here on the planet. So why are they pushing? And that's just my belief, in theory. So like Christopher says, in theory. So I'm always saying it. And in theory, that's what they're doing. They're lying. They're lying to us. It's a whole bunch of crap that they're saying out there. The Earth has been accelerating for years now. Yep. She's mad and gonna toss us all for a loop. Yeah, I think so, Dirt Riders. Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that. In 2005, if you guys go do the research, they will tell you that the first time noted this in 2005, there was an acceleration in the speed. Then after that, it said it came in 218, 220, 219, 2020, and apparently it's supposed to continue into 2022, and it has. Only a few months ago, they said that it just went again 1.2 kilometers faster. So if we back up and look at how much faster it's going, if it's almost 5-10 kilometers faster, there's definitely a problem, or they're not talking about it and we don't know why there's a problem. I don't believe it is, Lisa BH, but I tell you what, a lot of people here do, and or are interested in that theory. The problem I have with that theory is that I believe that, first of all, holographic images or holographic force fields or an image that's projected on the surface, whether it just be of light, I believe they could use that process on the surface of the moon to hide sections of the moon. Really don't think they have to now. I think it's incredible that it's totally costless and cost effective for them to use natural smokes and hazes. It's incredible, but I don't believe it's a projection. And you know why, Lisa BH? What would you think of having a projection to hide what the moon really is, or if it's not there, but to add into that projection little buildings and to add little lights going to and from that projection? So either the lights are going to the moon for real, or the lights are going and or coming out of the projection. Why would they project alien life forms on the moon? I don't believe they would. So for me, I believe the moon is very well there. The moon could be a system that's part of Earth itself. I believe that. Somebody told me, come up with an explanation as to why the sun is reflecting off the surface. Maybe it's not. The blue marble that they talk that we live on is maybe a little inside joke that we're living on a freaking star or blue star or something. Maybe the light from our planet that is real, fake, or not, is brightening the moon and is brightening the sun. And when they are at a 180-degree angle, what happens is we see the line from Earth that is actually causing the moon to have a terminator line. It's a theory, right? But who knows? So it has been accelerating for many years, but now accelerating a bit faster than normal, and they don't know why. Bruce, I would trust your data over the government's data any day. Thank you very much, Todd. Well, that's how it is, eh? And people know that when I say it, it's because I did research, and I could always be wrong. Always keep that in mind, that I can be wrong, and that I would not be doing it on purpose, but I give my own opinions. That's like with the moon breaking out of its orbit. People say, but Bruce, it can't break out of its orbit because before that happens, this would have to happen. Yes, I agree that that's the facts that they wrote down, but visually, we're seeing that moon change places. I don't know about you. The stars are also changing places. Someone will say, well, the stars always change places. Yes. Why? Why? I'm still trying to understand how the moon, the earth, and the sun are rotating amongst themselves. I can't get it in my mind, because when I listen to the science, it doesn't make sense what I'm seeing visually. Literally does not. We are apparently being slingshot in an elliptical orbit around a slingshot orbit around the sun. So we go by the sun, we go to the end, and then we bend back, and then we whiz back around on the other side, as compared to what people think, that we're just sitting there going around the sun like that. We're like shoo, flying by the sun, and shoo, we're flying back around the sun. But again, even is that real or not? Like a plasma coupled with EMF and vaxes. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. 5G, I believe everything has to do with the molecules and the oxygen inside of our blood, that they're trying to do a manipulation with that, and also the pandemic and stuff, and the vaccines that you said. I agree with that 100,000%. 100,000%. Absolutely, I agree with you with that. Moon really is there, but it is acting strange. And I was surprised the other day. It was dim when you look, not when you look at it with the naked eye, but when I filmed the moon, Aristarchus crater was really clear. There was no brightness on the surface at all there. It was really, really clear. So I was surprised about that. Samantha, thanks for being here. Like the gravitational waves, reversal coming. I can feel it in my soul. Same here, Samantha. Yes, we're in it, eh? And they don't know how long it's going to last, but in reality, we are definitely in it. Like the gravitational waves they picked up when two black holes collided. There we go. So it was two black holes after all, eh? They were thinking it was two neutron stars at one point. Absolutely. They're looking at the Sagittarius one now. Sagittarius A was designated a star many years ago, and it's now admitted to be a black hole. That's up inside the Milky Way. Thanks for sharing that, Bullets for Teeth. I got some major information on that too, and I just forgot it. So, because I saw someone contribute. Julie, thank you very much, Julie. Moon Man, I love it. I love it when you guys call me Moon Master or Moon Man. Hey, gets the trolls so pissed off, and I love that. 2 weeks down. Hey, 2 weeks down, and it could be that it's probably there, but I'm only going in about a week, but it's definitely going to be there in a week when I go, or less. I lost my link in my old phone. What is the site you sell your sky photos at? Hit that thumbs up. Oh, thanks a lot for checking out Don't Move. Well, Darla posted it, but I will repost it. Should probably be faster than me if she already has it. You can go and check it out if you're curious. And like I said, there's, you don't have to buy with a frame or anything. Buy just a roll-up poster. Some of you know to put on the walls. And if you're curious to go out and check it out, I'd be more than happy. There we go. On my channel, I'm right there to get the link. All the videos have the Pictogram link in it. So anybody that's curious about, I'm still going to share it, but for those that don't know, all the ways to contribute to the channel are with the super chat button and in the description of the video. There we go. I got it. Bruce is slow.
Hi, do you have an invention?
Hi, do you have an invention? I'm sure. Thanks a lot, Julie. Here you go, my dear. Pictogram. It's I'm pretty sure they'll present the base first. It's not hard to understand. There's a bunch of pictures. You click on a picture that you like, and then you go into the process of doing whatever you want. If it is complicated, I'm sorry. Most websites are. But I thank you so much for taking the time to check that out. Now my mouse died. I have to plug it in. Hey, man. Merci, bro, for updating that, bro. Thank you very much, man. Elias becoming a member on the English channel too, brother. Supporting me on all my platforms. Thank you so much, man. Really is, Samantha. Thank you, Julie. Thanks, mods. Thanks, guys. I do have a French channel, guys. I don't talk enough about him if it wasn't for the mods. You know a French friend, send him over to the French channel. I do live streams on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the French channel, which is tomorrow, Saturday, at 1 o'clock Eastern time. You have some French friends, you're from Quebec, and you want to understand the research, well, you go over to my French channel of New Quebec Astronomy. If you speak Italian, I have one Italian video up. I'm getting a couple of language videos up. I have a Spanish channel. We're approaching 1,000 subscribers. I'm so proud of everyone who contributed there and, joined. Absolutely. True Cyborg in the house. Your live was cool, AF. Elias. Hey, thanks a lot when you do your next one. Hey, awesome. If you're talking about Elias does them on Sundays, once or twice a month. Here we do the live streams 1 o'clock Eastern, like today, and for 2 hours. And then we're 8 o'clock tonight will be another live stream that I will be doing. So you guys can come by and check that out. Oh, yeah. So he was talking about Elias. If it's Elias, once a month, he should be doing the streams. And of course, he does videos too. Often does some of the videos. He speaks French, but he responds and replies to people in English like he's been doing the whole time here with me. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Gate Smasher. Can't thank you enough, brother. Definitely to be avoided, the EMFs. Barb Weist, thanks again for being here. Leia in the house. Climate change is cover for magnetic reversal. That's well said, Samantha. That's how they are hiding the changes. Absolutely. It's that simple. It's that simple. The same thing they did with the pandemic, changing our little ideals here and there. Fauci's, did you see him now? Asshole Fauci, excuse the expression, but I'm not sorry, is literally lying through his teeth saying, I never forced anyone to take anything. They had their own free will to be able to take those things. No, that's bull crap. Because how it went, remember how it went? If you want a job, get V'd. If you want your kids to be educated, get V'd. Oh, you want to be in the military or work for the federal or the government? Get V'd. Now it's like, we didn't force anybody. We gave them their own options. Bunch of lying pricks. Gets me so mad. Purple Rain. Nope. Purple Alien. Welcome. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Well, that's what they say. So by the time it gets to about 24,000 miles an hour, yes, we will be flying off. Say to yourself, your heart will be pressed up on one side. Your loose teeth will be going outwards, wanting to fly out of your mouth, literally. We'll be wearing duct tape with our glasses. No one will be wearing a hat. Everyone's hair will be up on one side. Lots of silly theories, but it's all real. You know, they say the Earth goes about at 1,000 miles an hour right now. Is it true? Probably not. If you look around on the internet, you'll probably get about 10 to 15 different speeds from all credible sources, nobody agreeing with each other. Come on. They're going to check that out, right? They're going to check to see how fast the Earth is moving. That's a load of malarkey. We're always moving. We're always moving and evolving. Yes. We're always in rotation. We're always spinning around. We've never, ever in our lives sat down and not moved. When you're moving less is when you're in a plane. Probably. Did you know that? You'd think the opposite, but you're going a lot less fast in the plane unless you're going the same direction as the world. Because right now we're all going at 1,000, 1,100 miles an hour, all of us, every one of us. But if you want to go less fast, go onto the top of the Earth where the poles are. Just put your hands up in the air like that. And all you're going to do is this, as compared to the running at 1,000 miles around the Earth. Depending on where you are, everyone's at different speeds. So that's something cool to think about. You, me, we're all going at different speeds, depending on how close you are to the equator. Not interesting? I think so. I thought it was. Learning little things. Thanks again, Peter, guys, everybody. The generous contributions. Really appreciate that. And of course, I can't answer everyone's comment, except for the ones that comment a lot, which is greatly appreciated. Mr. Shuttles, thanks again. William, thanks, guys. You guys got to visit Gate Smasher's channel. Love the guy. And Julie's channel. Julie, congratulations, first of all, on the new house in the undisclosed location. Julie found something in her house. A bear. Okay, the house doesn't have walls yet. It's going to be beautiful, by the way. Thanks for sharing that, Julie. Nice, really nice share of what her house is going to look like in Florida. And it's just a beautiful area, but she's got bear tracks and animal tracks around there. And I thank you guys for connecting with the channel. Really appreciate that. Could there be an outside force pulling on our planet? That I like. Like it was told when another system enters. Absolutely. Nibiru, Oumuamua, who came in from interstellar space and then went around the sun by Earth and scooted out back into the constellation of Lyra, slowed down as it entered the solar system, and then left the solar system at a faster pace than it entered. People are saying it's not something natural. And first of all, an asteroid shaped like that is very, very rare. Shout out to Christy. Yes, an outside pulling force. So something big coming into the solar system. I love that. Could absolutely be there. Thank you, Gate Smasher. Thank you very much, man, for the bacon fun. I love you guys. Can't thank you enough for the amazing support. I'm so happy that we got a few new people these past few weeks. I'm very, very honored to finally see some new faces coming in, because it really doesn't happen a lot. And the comments are overwhelming, very supportive, and you guys don't change anything. You're an amazing online family. This is pretty incredible. Just being a 5.1 earthquake in Indonesia. Hey, thank you for letting me know that. Geez, speak of the devil, Gate Smasher. Sorry, Mixed Mayhem. Thanks, Gate Smasher. Speak of the devil. Yeah, like Gate Smasher says, an outside force, definitely. We react differently when there's stuff in lower Earth orbit also. How is that affecting us health-wise? It must be incredible. It must be really impacting us. Why were they so knowledgeable about the planets? They knew everything. They knew their rotations. They knew their distances. Galileo found out that there was moons and all around Jupiter. I mean, you can only imagine what he found on the moon. I always say Galileo found out that there was the moon was inhabited, and then he was jailed, because he was jailed, by the way. Why did he hate the religious institutions? At one point, he was talking against them. He probably found out a lot of things of what was up there. Galileo and I share the same birthday, so for me, that was something really cool when I found that out. It's a guy that I did so much research on, Galileo, but never checked when his birthday was, and it was February 15th, like mine. So I was like, yay! Maybe I'm reincarnated. No. I am Kai's in the house. Oh, there's going to be some of them dar changes are coming. Yes. Yes, some changes. And of course, the queen has passed. She's off to the moon, or to wherever she's going. But now we got to worry about Charles III. I mean, the third. Charles III. Correct that. Not third. Not good. But I felt it. When I found out she passed away, I said, okay. The end of the treaty. Husband died at 99, so we have 99. She died at 96, so we have 9996. We got 666 upside down. And do you know that she was actually the one probably holding some of it together? And now the drastic changes, the agenda, how Charles is going to apply. He was bragging about the carbon taxes, right? Charging people for carbon taxes. Sorry, no respect to the crown, no disrespect to the crown, but I call bullshit. It's the elites trying to invent a bullshit reason to charge people with more taxes so they can rich themselves, get richer. That's all it is. Hey, Mr. Shuttles William, thanks a lot, man. He's gone anyways, missed that, but I thank you very much, bro, for the amazing support here, you guys. Incredible. I'll never be able to thank you all enough for that. Steve Connolly in the house, thanks for the thumbs up, brother. And Steve, thanks for the comments. Thanks for connecting, you guys. Everything they tell us is a lie, Bruce. Absolutely, Little Minx. It's 100% a lie. Samantha says, exactly, if CO2 were the real issue, it would be easy to fix. Yes, it would be easy to fix. And on top of that, for a planet that says the CO2 is excessively dangerous and a pollutant, maybe cutting down trees and burning forests in California are not the best idea. I really don't think that that's the best idea. I really believe it. Al Gore, yes, carbon credits, so they can tax you like in an insurance company. It's a grift for dumb people. 100% bolts for teeth. 100%. I agree with that. Check out Peter Benton's channel, another amazing contributor and supporter of this channel. Thanks again, Mr. William Shuttles. Oliver Klein in the house. If 30,000 cows fart in Texas, you'll get a climate rumble in New York. Probably, but what are the chances of them all farting at the same time? They're not like elites. Elites fart at the same time. They fart at 6 p.m. All of them. You go outside at 6 p.m. and it stinks. because they all have the same. They're all indoctrinated to fart at the same time. Winfield Diets, love from Chicago. Thank you very much. Chicago in the house. My American friends started up this channel. So many Americans that we hear, and still a lot of Americans that come to this channel amongst many other countries, but USA really, really started off the ball. And I thank you so much for it. I'm flagging my Trudeau flag, half Canada flag. I have to get myself an American flag. That's what I'm going to do. England flag. I'll get all the countries that are supporting me, put all the times up on the walls, like à la bourse. Linda, HH, it's incredible. That is where I get my healing energy. It's where I go to laugh, to cry. When I'm alone in the woods, I think of my dad. I think of my life. I think of everything. I love walking by myself in the woods. Nature shows me so many things. I see so many things, and it talks to me. Nature really does talk to me. It's incredible. Hug a tree today. Well, it's not for nothing. People actually do hug the trees. I would if I wasn't in town. I just don't hug the trees in town, but I'm thinking of them. But it's true. Trees are energy. They really are energy. They really are energy. Why do ghosts and spirits appear beside energy? Places like water, electrical circuits, copper piping. Why? Conductive? Because it's all electrical. It's all electrical. We live in an electrical universe. That's how it is. Everything's plugged in. Oh, it's good. The dull way is mundane, black and white mundane. Time passage, the color means anticipation, and clarity is battle. Thank you very much. I am Kai. No Catholic jokes today. That was funny. Sorry. Lise, thank you very much for being here. Greetings from Denmark. Hey, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks again, Little Minx. Bobana in the house. If Earth's got God Smasher, Gate Smasher, rah. If the Earth takes a hit from the sun and moon is on the backside of the Earth, if Earth takes a hit from the sun and the moon is on the backside of the Earth, do you think that the things on the moon will be affected? Maybe, just maybe, that's what is going on. That's a good one. Probably not, right? Like if it's hiding behind Earth. So they're moving around, eh? They could be deliberately moving it around. Isn't that scary? That's a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. They could be, well, Bruce, they could be driving it around. Imagine how happy the guy would be. And you have to move it over. Are you serious? Start this mother up. Start up the moon, move it over a little bit. This is awesome. I get to drive my moon again. A lot of people say the moon's a spaceship. But that's a good one. It takes a hit from the sun and the moon is on the backside of Earth. Do you think that the things on the moon will be affected? Maybe. I'll tell you what, Earth is going to be a lot more affected if the moon is moving out of the way. Like the moon's moving out of the way, or is that what the moon did back in the past? Moved around to go catch all the asteroids. Maybe that's what's happening right now. Maybe asteroids are bombarding, coming right towards Earth, and it just so happens the moon has to be in the south to go down in the south to be able to catch them. We sit there, we look at the moon that's completely bombarded with overhead drop, like carpet bombing. You know what a carpet bombing is in the war? Beep, 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 beep. Drop all these bombs along the surface, and you see the upward explosions, and not like an asteroid that comes in sideways that should be creating a cone-shaped crater. We don't see any cone-shaped craters, not one of them. They're all overhead dropped objects. So obviously it's from the ground up. They're inside the moon. They're building in this circular area, and in that circular area, everything they're digging up, they're putting on the outsides of the craters. The ejecta lines are the roads, the mining roads to get there. It could be mining tunnel shafts, or it could be for real just a straight up road where trucks are driving there that nobody's seeing. Yeah, trucks on the moon. Why wouldn't they? Somebody laughed so hard, and they were really laughing. They said, "That is the dumbest thing I ever heard, putting a car on the moon. How the hell do you think they got around the moon? Supposedly, when they went to the moon, they used the car." You don't think that car was heavy? Must have been heavy. It was totally genius, right? They arrive there, they're in a capsule as big as a thumbnail, and they land there, and they got all these big things up there. They had planted the sign. They have all this food, obviously, they brought with them. You never heard about the meeting. They never talked about the meeting on the moon, eh? I found that so weird. Well, we're having our break now. We're having our lunch for the first time. I'm having some tube steak. Never heard of it. It's because they brought a packed lunch. And they probably said, if you take your lunch out on the moon, be sure to stay close to the lander so no one will see you. If they went. They could have possibly gone, but not told us the way they went, because they did not tell the public how they went. We got that confirmation by the Buzz Lightyear himself, Buzz Aldrin. It's an incredible day, I am Kai. It's an advancement of evolution into the future, getting past an evil era. Everyone's really careful what they're saying about the Queen, but let me tell you guys, I'm not going to miss her. I don't care what anybody says. The crap that has been going on because of these people, the Rothschilds and everything, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm sure my friends in England think the same way. Ever notice how it's only people in England that have a picture of the Queen with boobs on their shirts? So I think they're pretty much awake and understanding what's going on. So now Charles the third is going to be there. What's he going to do? Most likely going to make a bar out of a room. These people, look up the stories. Hey, Charles, you should see what he does when he has a drink at night and he busts the sinks in Buckingham Palace. There's a documentary out there of people. Too early, anyways. I'll wait a week. I respect everyone. I respect deaths. I respect families. But when we hear of all the evil and all the control that they have on everything, they basically, yeah. Moon is going bonkers like everything else. You're absolutely right. The people, the moon, the sun, temperature's wild. How come? You hit the nail on the head. You honestly hit the nail on the head. Why? Why is everything reacting now? Why is only a couple of years ago all these kids started doing mass shootings in school? Never heard of that when we were younger. Never had any shootings in schools when I was young, especially not kids doing it themselves. We had video games back then. War games, video games. Some people get so indoctrinated in these video games. And listen, I'm not thrashing video game players. I would quit researching. You know what I do? I'd go back to my Sims. Flight simulator. I used to like pretending I was a flight captain and fly around the world. I know how to fly planes, land planes, VFR flights, AFR flights, all the different flights that you need to know about how to go up. Why? Because I like flight simulators. Always have. But I would go back in a day in a flash to playing video games, right? But some of the video games, did you see that one about space now? It's like a real world of space where you can fly around. Looks pretty interesting and incredible. But hear what they say on the ads. They go, this game, you're not ready for it. It's a game. It's a freaking game. You're not ready for it. Be honest. I wish people were honest. When you buy a box of frozen chicken strips, okay, they look like dead fingers in the box. Why on top of the box when they're presenting it to you, they show the flakiness of the chicken crust on top. They show the heat coming out, that one drop of water that's in the chicken and stuff. And it doesn't look like that at all. We live in a lie. We live in an absolute lie. You go buy a brand new car, they tell you everything for you to sell the car. Then you buy the car and you call back the next day and he tells you, oh, nope, that car doesn't do that. Oh, you didn't tell me the day before. So that's how people, to be a successful salesman, have to be a liar. You have to make up bullshit, make people want to buy your vacuum cleaners. You know what I mean? Do a test. That's what they used to do back in the days. Did a test at home. Look, we're going to do a test and clean up your carpet. I'm going to pour grape juice in your carpet and pick it up. Yeah, right. Then you get the vacuum cleaner and you go, holy shit, that doesn't pick up. What the hell? We live in a lie. Everything's lied about. Everyone lies about everything. You go to the doctors. When the doctor tells you it's going to sting a little, holy shit. Prepare yourself. It's like getting hit with a hammer on the head. You may feel a little bit of a sting. Yeah. Everything's a lie. You do it to kids, right? Oh, don't worry. There's no danger. It's just a dental cleaning. It's just a cleaning. We make kids believe that everything's safe. Everything's, we lie to protect our kids. Then the day they leave home, they go, holy shit, this is the world? World's really different. Truth is our sun rotation eclipse got sharper from the winter into summer. Direct. This will go further. Yes, it will, Oliver Klein. It's really true. And we're going to see, so to speak, yes, we're going to see the drastic changes is how the way I'm looking at it. Susan in the house. Thanks, Susan. When is the next podcast? Oh, thank you so much, Susan, for asking. My husband is hooked on. Are you serious, Susan? Thanks, guys. That really means a lot. Probably very soon. I'm loving the podcast too, and I promise not to make them boring. I promise to be only interesting subjects. I was, the last podcast I talked about some spiritual encounters. I really went deep into revealing some of my innermost secretive events and spiritual encounters. But that's only because of you guys and gals, because you're pushing me to bring all of that out, because a lot of you have had encounters, from Beth Noyce to a whole bunch of people have had your own alien encounters, and some of them quite exceptional, like Beth's, and that's how it is. But we're careful talking about it. We're really careful talking about these things. Oh, that's true. The puppy. Oh, yes. Teething hard, wrecking your legs and shoes and wooden furniture. Hey, Kate, Rhea, thank you very much for being here. I trashed almost all of what I learned in school, says Karen Massey. Yeah, her too. That's another one that was telling me that in the comment sections. Yes, in school after finding you, Bruce, lol. I see what you share, and I think it's amazing. Thank you so much, Karen. I really, really appreciate that. Karen, remember what I said almost the first week when they were pushing out that pandemic and the V's? Remember some of the revealing information that I said that nobody knew about that came out afterwards? I have so much respect for the people that did and didn't get the V's, but I'm just so happy when people get informed about all the stuff going on, because I really felt sad that the whole world, three-quarters of the world is asleep, and all those people are going to be affected, except for the ones that are awake. They're really awake. We're the ones that are going to hold the world together. We have to be. We have to continue doing that. 100%. OBX Arms, thank you so much, bro, for the contributions and the comments and supporting this channel and the ideas. Any peculiar neighborhood visits above Casa de Bruce lately? Any peculiar neighborhood visits above Casa de Bruce lately? Thank you very much. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, the pods, and when I go outside, that's what I wanted to talk about. OBX Arms, thanks. Guys, okay, so if you don't know the sky, to orient yourself, the Dipper. We're talking the Big Dipper, not the small one, right? Not an Orion. We're talking the Big Dipper. You look at it's been in the north now for a while because it always is in this time of the year. If you look at the Big Dipper, off to the right of the Big Dipper going upwards, you have the North Star there, which they say is heaven. It's written in the Bible, by the way. But anyways, the North Star is there over top of the Big Dipper that's bent. Yeah, the North Star. If you, at the height of the North Star, go over to the left and go directly over the Big Dipper, you're going to see 4 stars, 2 that are diagonally outwards like that, and 2 that are outwards but like that on each side. More distance on one side than the other ones. You got 1 2 1 2, wide opening, small opening. In the center of that, over top of the Big Dipper, I promise you all, if you look there, you will see large explosions, like little Sputnik lights, boop, 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 that are appearing there in that exact area. I've been noticing that a lot the past couple of days. I've been noticing that in the sky, and the UFOs are entering from that point, and they're appearing around that point. I absolutely believe 100% that some of these entities and objects are entering inside of our atmosphere. Well, another problem I have, and I've been feeling this week, especially this week and a lot last week, I have some entities, I would say poltergeists in the house, because they move some of the objects that are here in the house. And the objects that they're moving are always beside my sink. And sometimes my Indian on the wall moves. I notice just a lot of shadows around me. I try not to notice them because I literally would go crazy there, trying to focus when the shadow's here, when the shadow's there. But me getting contacted, it's that there's a connection. Something happened to me, more than one abduction when I was young, and that I'm only starting to realize today. It took me a long time to realize that it was alien encounters and not my dad. My dad did come and to see me. I know it. I don't care what anybody says, because he said things that he couldn't have and that I could have known young, but he did come to see me. Some family members have, but the aliens, when they come here, I believe that they would make a child feel comfortable, and that they could manipulate, sort of like a parent's manipulation, not to be bad to your kid, more like to protect him or her about what's going on, right? Like bringing me up in a ship. No, I haven't seen the doors or remember walking onto one, like Beth's incredible story. But when they came to see me in my room, the tall black beings, they went around me, and all of them being around me in a circle stopped me from being able to make noise to my mother was in the next room, screaming at the top of my lungs, crying my eyes out, horrified. And that was at a young age. So it took a while before they actually started. Anyways, before I started getting messages, it was more just like a presentation of them coming to do something to me. I don't know what they were doing on my body, but they were on my chest, and it was freaking me out. Didn't make a noise. They were just sitting there looking at me, and they leaned in, and it was a real encounter. So I believe that the entities, my gosh, I'm far now into the question that the OBX Arms asked, but I see a lot of spirits and shit around me. That's that simple. Since the past 2 or 3 years, I believe there's something that's causing more entities to enter this realm, because I've never seen so many spiritual encounters in my life in the past 2 or 3 years. So something's definitely going on. A lot of people don't believe that, and I got only nothing but respect for that. Susan Ravella and the hubby, I thank you so much for those, for appreciating the podcast. I will definitely be doing some more this week also. Had a lot going on this week. I'm going to court in about on the 19th with a neighbor. I'm anxious for that to get out of the way. This has been put back for 3 years. A lot of psycho crazy people out in this town. And the sad part is that you could be harassed. Hey, I got some death threats this week, guys. People leaking out my address again. trying to intimidate me. So if you're here supporting the channel, taking the time to subscribe, I go through a lot of shit most of the time in the comment sections. I take them all down, the big attacks, leaking my address and stuff. Been a long time. Everyone knows where I am at 1, because that's my address. And it just makes me laugh that the goal of people is to scare me. And I really don't think it's any agents. I think, unfortunately, it's only jealous people with channels. It's jealous researchers that have their own channels that don't appreciate my theories. They don't appreciate the way I show the moon. And I get some people that come here and say, Bruce, you have an incredible way of doing photography. And I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure most people appreciate it, but yeah. I always question everything I was told in school, says Gate Smasher. Absolutely. Me too, 100%. It never went with, because it never went with what I was told, and by the tribal leaders, especially, for sure. They know so much. After encouraging a science teacher to come over to a native meeting we have, that is something incredible, something spectacular. It's not the same. Indian science, native science, not the same, but there's more fact there. That is more real there. How come natives are able to predict things that scientists can't? Well, that's along the line, definitely because of that. The earth is a mishopping ball of mud and rock. Absolutely. 100%. Joseph Henry Mom, thank you very much. In the building. How are you doing, Bruce? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop on by. Had yet again another amazing 2-hour stream. Talked about a whole bunch of incredible things. I hope you'll be here tonight. I'll be looking in the news for a whole bunch of things that we're talking about. The robots. I got a whole bunch of things that I'm jotting down there. Get some interesting conversations for tonight. The Pentagon just got caught doing some throughout many years between 2007 and 2012, planning on nuking the moon, stargates, portals, experimentation and time travel. We're there, folks. It's really real. So the time machines exist, probably already been built. What are they doing? I don't know. I believe maybe the Mandela effects are things that are happening because of this mishap. Don't forget, if they're time traveling back in the year 1536 and they time traveled once in that year to come here in 2022, that's all it took. That one time coming into the future. Me, if you ask me what I think, I believe it's the worst idea to travel through time. And I mean the worst idea. I think they should experiment by teleporting into regular time, like teleporting across Earth or teleporting to Mars. Does it always have to be a manipulation of time, or can we just teleport ourselves? Do we have to lose an hour and gain an hour? And there's talk about them saying that when you go somewhere and come back, there's a minute to go and a minute to come back, and you lose 2 minutes. Is any of this real or not? I have some people that come here and that are literally talking to me about time travel, how time travel works from what they heard in movies. It's important to say the difference there. But in reality, movies, they base their facts usually on real facts. When they're talking about stuff in movies, definitely. What did I see the other day? I laughed my head off. What was the name of it? No memory. Lost in Time. Watched a time travel movie of an hour and a half, I think, 2 days ago. I don't even remember the title. But I was laughing because what they're talking about in the movie, it's everything that science is talking about. So, of course, there is a lot of truth in some of the movies, You showed the structure in your footage. I went through mine and found it. Thanks for pointing it out. I appreciate that, guys. I love you for it. Thanks for giving me that feedback. And absolutely, you come to my channel, you see something on the surface, whether you have a big scope or not, we'll all be able to see all those objects. It just will be difference in size. You'll be able to confirm whether it's there or not. You'll probably even be able to see the changes. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. He thought about it and said, never knew that my tribal leaders said that he has taught wrong. Yes. Oh, no. Thought about it and said, never knew that my tribal leaders said that he was taught wrong. Yeah, I get it. 10-4. Horrible there. Some stabbings in the Cree Nation here in Canada. So many sad things going on. Natives here in Canada sure didn't welcome the Pope, I tell you that. They were very respectful, for them to see them standing like that, respectfully beside the Pope. In reality, I would have scalped the bugger when you think of it. Probably got a cool video. Awesome, Beth. Nice. We'll be checking that out. 10-4 Kai. I've had difficulty seeing the moon this year. Bad, Karen. Last year was bad. This year even worse for me. Right at sea level, and it's too low. Yep. The info you share is mind-blowing. Thanks so much. And it's true. Like, you'll notice it when I say it. You'll go out and say, holy crap, it really is true. I mean, way too low. The moon, okay, you know what I used to tell my family members when they used to call and say, you're getting the moon outside? Yes, my neck is killing me. I have to lie down on the ground, basically, because the moon is straight up over my house. Never happened again after that. It never happened again after that. I never filmed the moon up in the sky directly over me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you guys that it probably hasn't been there in months. Look at it. It's completely low. I'm seeing it in the south. So the most incredible thing, the moon's rising. Okay. So here's the horizon right there. It went up over the horizon and it started going like this through trees. And then it went up quicker and then back down right there, started going back down. So all it did was that little loop in the sky, as compared to on the elliptic, and it goes up high and then it goes down in the back of me. Now it's not. It's going right in front of me. It's going up and it's going down. That's crazy stuff. And a whole bunch of people were saying it's totally normal during the equinox and the solstice. The sun, the moon, yes, the sun moves around, is out of place. Yes, for 1 to 3 days, not all year. And now we're seeing at different times of the year where the moon is absolutely out of place. And check to see when the equinox is. We're not in it. There's a theory, says Susan Ravella, that the moon and the sun are on a track system. I like that one, like draperies. I like that because that's what it visually looks like. Have you ever heard of selenelian? Pull the cord too fast and zoom goes the moon. Absolutely. Sometimes, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, actually. Selenelian is the scientific term for when you see the moon when they're both in an angle of 180 degrees. When you see them both in the sky, I filmed it. You see the moon here and you see the sun there, and they're chasing each other in the sky. Selenelian. Weird. But it happens. So as a theory, the sun are on a track. I like that one too, because how can they not be in reality, Susan, right? When you look at the stars are all at the same time moving in the sky, except you have the north that's staying there. That's a little weird. And you see things revolve around. So trying to look at the sky, trying to understand exactly how they're rotating around me, I've still not been able to really comprehend it. Sure, I read the facts. I read what they said is going on, but is it exactly that truth that's going on or not? David White, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate that. Bacon all the way. Thanks for the funds, man. Be getting that bacon. Yeah, Mac, tonight. Very, very well said. It's our heat lamp. Absolutely. And it was probably put there exactly just for that, right around Earth. If you look at a constellation of Lyra, that's all that's there are suns. So which one of these are manipulatedly created? Probably each and every one of us. Each and every one of them. and us, yes. But it always comes down to the same story. You got religious, not everyone here. I got a lot of religious people here. I get along with them. How come I can get along with religious people that aren't offended that because I'm saying there's aliens on the moon? How come they don't feel offended that I'm affecting what they believe in God? Because it doesn't. They quite literally told me, yeah, congratulations, Bruce. Bruce. Congratulations, Bruce. You found a being from God on one of the planets. Big whoop. And I like that mentality. I like that because it's true. This channel is not here to destroy religions, but people that are inside of religion deep and go to church should be really having a lot of fun bringing this up and talking to people and opening their eyes about certain things. Best thing to do is you ask a priest some questions. Oh my gosh. I've been told to F off by a Catholic priest. F off. Get out of my effing church. Okay? Because I had brought that up. One church, once in my life, went in and asked them a question about aliens and about the devil. And that was it. Get the hell out. Are you a Mormon? He was saying. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? Get out of the Catholic Church. Get the hell out of my church. Get the hell out of my church? Yeah, because that's what it is. It's a hellish place. When I was very young, I used to tell my mother that any time I was in a church or near a church, I felt the devil. And people had an opposite reaction by saying, wow, you're really negative. No, I feel the devil in the church. I don't feel God. I never have. Never have. And it scared me. You walk into a church, there's a certain scent in the church that I can't stand, and I can't stand all the hypocrisy, everything around, it's just a load of bull crap, what they're teaching to people. So we have religious people that go to church, but they're there to pray to God, and they know themselves why they're there. But God said it himself. You don't have to go to church to pray for him. He likes the ones that maybe stay in their closets to do their praying in hiding. He hears you no matter what. Burn in the house. Oh, hope everything on the mend. Have some wild sex, you guys, and everything will be okay after. For a little bit. Mushrooms are cooked. Yes. Some good mushrooms, the big ones. Edible mushrooms, I love them. I'm talking the ones for cooking. When I'm talking about magical mushrooms, they could be good too. But mushrooms, I love mushrooms. I could eat hundreds of thousands of them. Just mushrooms. I'm a mushroom freak. It's good in rice. I'll put more mushrooms than there is rice. Basically, I'm a mushroom freak. Chantal, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Super cool, my friends. I love you guys so much. I can pull out a knife. I can pull my own tooth. Do like Chantal, thanks again. Do like what's that show? That episode? I don't remember because I don't watch episodes of anything. I don't know any names of any shows on television. Anyways, the guy pulled out his own tooth by opening a pair of pliers and just yanking his freaking tooth out. As a matter of fact, that's what I should do with my front tooth. See, all my life I've had straight teeth, and now the front tooth is starting to shift a little bit. But I'm getting old. That's how it is. I'll smack it out there, and I'll put a white piece of chewing gum in between the teeth when I stream. No one will notice the difference. Oh, yes, they are. They are, People are distracting. That's why when you go out alone, when's the last time you've been alone? Hamilton in the house. Thanks a lot, you guys. Yeah, when people go out by themselves and sit down in the wilderness and just literally suck in the thoughts. And I think of so many things when I do that. Honestly do. I want to thank each and every one of you for having taken the time to come by the channel. Thank you so much. Espen, how's it going from Norway? Thank you very much. And my eye made it the hour. It's going to be due for a little compressing. Bruce getting so old. That's why I call myself Bruce Sees All. Bruce sees all but plays in his eye. I'm excited to hook up our new contraption to the huge sky binoculars for looking at the moon and stars with the camera. I am so anxious for you guys to be settled in. I'm anxious for you guys to have your first deck sitting where you're going to be able to sit down. And I thought of it. I saw it, that vision. I know you're going to say it's a silly thing to envision. It's easy to guess that we were going to do that, but I see it. I see you preparing all the trees that are going to be on your land, and then you're sitting down for the first time, taking a load off and streaming from the yard to talk about what you guys did. And that's what's going to be coming. And you guys are going to have a nice house. Thanks for sharing that. Because you guys in reality have been on the road there for a while, eh? Literally, like, camping. Literally camping. Espen Benesh, thank you again, Norway. You guys rock. Hey, thanks for letting me know that, man. First time right in days that we have sun today. A little bit of sun yesterday, too. It's my dream to have a greenhouse. I want to have a greenhouse. I want to, we all have to do that. Eh? We're going to have to resort to gardening, guys. Get ready. They're going to cut off. Oh, and my European friends, I can't wait to stream tomorrow because, see, my European friends are getting so mad at me, some of them for dissing Putin. And I'm not too happy with Putin for what he's doing, making you and I pay a lot more for gas prices and for our food. Get ready. A 40% cut in the grain is coming very, very soon. Europe's not going to have any heat. So now the French people on my French channel are complaining about him. So I got to go back tomorrow and tell them, hey, stop complaining. You guys told me there's no way that Putin is a bad person. But now they're complaining because Putin's going to, take away their electricity. None of them are good. Not Ukraine side, not Russian side. You know who's good in Ukraine and Russia? The people. Not the governments. The people. People in China are good. People in Russia are good. People in the States are good. The people. We're all good. It's the ones ruling that are not good. That's how it is. Danny Brandon, hello. Thanks a lot. What do you know about the island Antarctica? Very interesting island. I know that the Antarctica is off limits. I know about the ice wall. I don't know much more than that. I don't know whether it's real or not true or whatever they're talking about there. They say that there's pyramids. I saw the mountain. There's a mountain that's not a mountain. It's a real pyramid. The ice is melting off of it. So the Anunnaki or anyone that's coming back, Elias was talking about that the other day, the Sumerians and Anunnaki thousands of years ago. If they were here and did leave in a spaceship, well, maybe they're going to come back, and they're coming back because now Antarctica is going to once again melt and that shift. Maybe they come and go during the polar shifts, as a temporary means of a way for them to live. Yes, the earth is a rockin'. One sec, you guys. So I guess the eye is getting a little bad. I'm gonna have to get off and go do my things, guys. Can't thank you enough. And have another stream at 8:00. We'll be talking about some more things. Go check out the last video. I just filmed it. There's a tower or a towering object, mysterious shadow. The shadows on the moon, you guys, look at every shadow where it's pointing to. You have a whole bunch of them on one side, And you have a few on other sides and other sides. Some are on top, on the bottom. Some objects don't have shadows. But the big secret that most don't know is that NASA knows that the shadows are hardly seen on the surface. So towering objects, it's very hard to see those shadows. Of course, I was filming along the Terminator line. So thanks to all new subscribers. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for people connecting. Susan Ravella, thanks again for appreciating the podcast. And hubby, again, you guys, I love you so much. There'll be more podcasts. Don't be shy for any suggestions in podcasts also, subjects and titles. But I'm telling you, I have a lot to share. Definitely a lot to share. 1 week before going to court, I don't know if you guys are like me. When I have something that's coming up, all my attention and focus goes on these little shit events that you want to get over with. And I've been thinking about it all month. Can't wait to get out. And if it doesn't work in court, I'll just head over to his house and knock down the door. Because I'm starting to get really sick of both the neighbors and the shit system that we're in. I go to court. I have no respect for most of the judges here in this court system. A guy went through my stop sign of my bus when I was on the school bus driving after the medical buses, right? Went to court with this guy. This guy is STCUM driver, transport driver in Montreal that had been driving for almost 30 years that went through a stop sign. When I told that to the judge says, Mr. And he looks at the other guy. He says, "You are free to go, my kind sir." It was a deliberate attack on the children in my bus. And the judge could do what he wanted. No consequences or nothing. Turned around and looked at it. You got nothing to pay for. You go. You're a liar. And that's it. Next. So the court system is bullcrap. It's there to protect the governments and the elites, not there to protect you. Why do you think people don't bring the government to court? Not going to happen. That's how it is. Burn, again, thanks for being here, you guys. And I am going to get off now. The oceans are deep, dark, and mysterious, just like our space. Absolutely. Except space is not dark. But I'll talk about that during the, the coming months. Just found that one out. Yeah, there's nothing dark out there. I'm really skeptical about if space is bright. Space is extremely bright and blinding, and that's why they have sunglasses. They wouldn't be able to see anything. It's like driving through a light bulb is how space would be. Imagine all the way light, interacts in space. Would be absolutely incredibly crazy. But yes, the oceans, dark, deep, and mysterious. It is like space. And of course, in general, space, they say is dark, even though it's not. I believe that we see a sky from the moon, but they say they don't. If there's an atmosphere on the moon, they see a sky. If there's no atmosphere on the moon, well, they're going to have to say that they see dark. They're not going to say there's no oxygen on the moon and say, I'm looking up at the bright sun. They have sunrises on the moon and light scattering. Thanks to the Apollo astronauts that warned us about that, right? Don't depend on what they say, though. Thanks again, everybody. That is the address if you want to send me some alien parts or anything you want. You want to send me a picture of you. You want to send me some hate mail. That's where you got to do it. Just about got everyone and think just want freedom. Same here, man. That's exactly what we need. Probably, for sure, Oliver. So, guys, thanks again. Les créas, Miss Arrow, merci beaucoup, bienvenue. So I am going to get off and really want to thank everyone. I want to be a robot. I sort of want to, True Cyborg, but I don't know. Maybe an arm or something, a leg, or maybe a bionic pecker or something. I mean, how incredible would that be? Don't get me into this. I'm leaving. I'm done. Lift up the cars with that pecker, what the hell are you doing? It's bionic. Thanks to Elon Musk. Ladies and gents, Thanks for the generous contributions. Thanks for supporting the channel, for listening to the videos, for the incredible therapeutic comments. And I hope to see you all at 8 o'clock. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Head over to the videos, leave a comment, thumbs up. Always greatly appreciated. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, mods, everybody. Bye-bye for now. See you at 8 o'clock. We'll be talking about what's new in space news. Later, everyone.